Hello everyone, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. Today's video I'm going to show you I think 24 cards using the Oh So Eclectic bundle, and that bundle is shown on page 133 of our annual catalog. It's part of the Naturally Eclectic suite. Lots of fabulous samples on this page, lots of fabulous products on this page. We've got the Oh So Eclectic stamp set, which coordinates with the Eclectic Layers dies, which we're going to show you those dies here in just a minute. We've also got the Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper in this suite, the Naturally Eclectic card overlays, which are pretty dang cool, and the 5/8 inch crinkled seam binding, which is also part of this suite. Most of the cards today are going to focus on the stamp set, the dies, and the Designer Series paper. So let's get into this a little bit. The stamp set has 16 images. This is a clear mount stamp set, so you can see a lot of these images. And these flowers and leaves do have coordinating dies. So let me kind of show you what each of the dies looks like and what it cuts out. So there are 13 dies in the Eclectic Layers set. All right, let's start with these two dies here in the set. This is a die that crops this flower, which also is an image in the stamp set. And this little guy right here looks like it would make a leaf cutout, but you know what? It doesn't. It does a leaf embossing. Can you see that there? That is just embossed. You run it through the Big Shot and it leaves an embossed impression. There's another one right here. So that's kind of cool. So there's two of the dies. Now let's see, we'll just kind of stack them all right here. Next up is another die. Here's the leaf die. It looks like it would cut a really cool leaf pattern. Nope. Fooled again. It embosses this kind of image right here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, it just embosses. It just impresses into your cardstock that shape, which is very cool. Then we've got this little guy that looks just like our embossed, the die that does embossing, but this one actually does cut. So you can see what it cuts, these little kind of sprig dealies here, which are really adorable. Then we've got these two diamond dies. So you can see I've got the detailed diamond cut here. And then you have the overlay, which you cannot run them through together. So you would die cut this piece first, and then you would go ahead and run it through, and then you could crop the whole thing out. You might notice over here I've got some glitter embossing paste images, and I did those by taking the detailed die, I cropped it out of a window sheet, and then I laid the window sheet on my cardstock, smeared my paste on it that I had mixed with glitter, and that's how I was able to get that. We also have the leaf die, which does have a coordinating couple of images with that. So we've got these two leaf images here, and then it will crop out this 5-petal stemmed leaf. Then the holy grail of this set is this diamond pattern. I'm not even sure what to call this, but it is the coolest thing ever. So this is the die, and when you run it through your Big Shot, this is what it would do. It would come through and it would cut, and it would leave all this pattern here. The person that made this card went ahead and ran it through, you know, the Tranquil Tide, then ran it through the Lemon Lime Twist, took the Lemon Lime Twist pieces and then just inlaid them in there. So this die is very, very cool. We've got another embossing die. It's this little kind of heart-shaped diamond, and it looks like it would cut something very cool, but again, no, it doesn't. You can see here on this greeting piece, I kind of wiggle it around and hold it steady. You can see that it was just embossed into that paper. So we've got 3 embossing dies in this set, which are very cool. Moving on to this die. This is a very detailed flower die, and it did the cutting of this flower. Got the little tiny flower middle also. So it's got the detailed flower here, and then the flower, the paper underneath was also cut with this die here. And we've got this die that crops out this image in the stamp set. So you can stamp this image, you can crop it out, put it on your cards. We've also got the leaf there. But you can also take this little die here, and you can crop this out of a solid piece of cardstock, which was done here. And then you can run this one through. Let's see, do these nest together? I think they do. Oh my gosh, they do. That's awesome. So you can just run them through together, that one, and get that really cool looking flower. So those are the 13 dies. Now let's get on to all the cards. All right, let's just start with this gorgeous card here. This is some powder pink and Night of Navy, and you can see this crinkled seam binding ribbon here. This actually is very cool. It is crinkled when it comes on the roll. It comes in 4 colors. Oops. Comes in 4 colors. And it's already crinkled, so you just can lay it on your card and it looks very fabulous. So we've also got some metallic enamel dots on here, some gold foil sheet, and very gorgeous. Next one is one we already saw, but I want to go into a little more detail about it. We've got the die cut, fancy die cut here on the side. We've got a few of the stamped images on the front here. So we've got this little flower image here. We've got the leaves kind of stamped, the die cut flowers, the glimmer paper in the back. And then we've got some of the lemon lime twist ombre ribbon tied in a knot on the front of that one. Next up, we have this gorgeous card, which uses the layered leaves embossing folder for the background. Very pretty. We've got the Just a Note greeting, which comes to us from the Flourishing Phrases stamp set on page 24. It's got some great greetings in here, and there's that Just a Note. We've also got a little bit of black baker's twine, and very striking. Next up, we have this cool card. This one uses the stamp set called You're Priceless on page 160, and it's got this diamond image that is cropped out with the diamond die. We've got this great greeting here, a little bit of the Oh So Eclectic Designer Series paper, some Tranquil Tide ribbon, and of course some rhinestone jewels. Next up is this cool card that uses the 2 flower dies from the set as well as the leaf, and then that great geometric pattern there. A little greeting from the stamp set. We've got a little bit of Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper there in the flower middle, which is also a die. And then we've got some of our 3/8 inch woven ribbon. This is in the crushed curry. And then we've got some Designer Series paper back there behind the flower. Next up, we've got this really cool card that's got some of the Natural Eclectic Designer Series paper, some of the Emerald Envy crinkled seam binding. We've got an image from the stamp set. Then you'll notice this little border piece here. Well, how ingenious is this? This is our new decorative ribbon border punch. And so normally you would have it stick off the card. You know, you would have it on the card so everyone could see this gorgeous pattern that it creates. But if you do it the opposite side, you get this cool little scallop, which is what was done, whoops, upside down, which was what was done right here on the edge. So pretty cool with that punch. And then the inside has another greeting from that same Thankful Thoughts set. And then we have this card that uses our fabulous embossing paste, our decorative masks. And the paste was mixed with Melon Mambo and Bermuda Bay. And then it was smeared on the card. And isn't that just so cool? And then we've got the flowers that were stamped with the coordinating colors and cropped with the Big Shot. And then we've got our little hello greeting there. So yay for embossing paste. This is a very striking card using some Pool Party, Tranquil Tide, and some Lemon Lime Twist. We talked a little bit about this one earlier when I was going over the dies. This one was, the main die was cut out of the Tranquil Tide, and it was also cut out of the Lemon Lime Twist. And then the Lemon Lime Twist pieces were placed back in the die openings to create that really cool look. And then we've got one of our faceted jewels on there. We've got some of the Lemon Lime Twist woven ribbon here on the side, and a greeting from the stamp set. This next one uses Tranquil Tide and the Lemon Lime Twist. And this one uses another one of our border punches, the Ticket Tear border punch on the edge there. Can you see that? That gives a really cool design. This is one of those kind of fancy fold cards where you would have the card, you would fold it the normal way, but then you would fold it back on itself about, it's about 1.5 inches, and then add a strip of Designer Series paper to make that kind of cool fold. We've got some of the flower images from the stamp set, the leaves and these little tiny flowers, and a greeting from the stamp set also. Another really pretty one that uses the Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper. We've got some of that navy crinkled seam binding. We've got a couple of the flowers cropped out and the leaves. We've got that layered leaves folder back here again. And then the classic label punch with the greeting up there. All right, next one. We talked a little bit about this one also. I told you about how I cropped the silver glitter paper. And then I cropped it with the 2 diamond dies. We've got some circles here, scallop, the Naturally Eclectic paper. Here's that decorative ribbon border punch again, but I used this decorative side. And then we've got the embossing paste mixed with Dazzling Diamonds glitter. And then I used a window sheet to actually apply the paste. So you can see It does have a bit of dimension that the embossing paste gives it, so that's kind of a cool look. This one, more of that Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper. We've got the Sunburst Punch here that's cropped out the flower. The Hello Friend was snipped with some scissors. We've got some glitter enamel dot right here. The seam binding, the crinkled seam binding, and then that fabulous fabulous geometric pattern there. Here's a pretty card in powder pink, and this is the one that has that embossed leaf die. Got the flower, some more leaves, got the flower down here, a little bit of our tiny, tiny little sequin trim in gold, and then the greeting was embossed in gold. Another one using that fabulous geometric pattern. This pattern is just, it works for everything. We've got the two flower dies here, the leaf die with some lemon lime twist, that classic label again with the I like you greeting. This one is very pretty. We've got the die cut pieces in the 3 different colors, and then the like a sponge dauber was used to add some color behind those. Pretty cool. We've got some burlap trim here, some linen thread, and then a nice greeting. This one uses a pretty large piece of that Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper. A couple of the flowers cropped out. There's that tiny little sprig, leaf sprig again, and then one of the greetings from the stamp set. This one is very pretty. This one took the die and cropped out the pieces, and then the gal just relayed all those in the gold glimmer paper without using the die actually on the card. So that's pretty cool. Some flowers, some of those jewels, and then the greeting up there at the top. This one, we've got the Naturally Eclectic paper on the side. We've got our leaf greeting. We've got our You Make Me Smile, which comes to us from the Colorful Seasons stamp set. So this has a lot of nice greetings. The You Make Me Smile right there. And then here's those little tiny embossed leaves down here on this card. Pretty cool. And then the seam binding. This one is just gorgeous. You've got that geometric pattern with the copper foil sheet behind there. Just look at that. That's just gorgeous. Some of our fresh fig woven ribbon, one of our little tiny bows, the die cut out of fresh fig, and then the Tranquil Tide leaves. We've got a little bit of some flower stamping from the stamp set on the inside. This one has got some white and some berry burst, the Missing You greeting done with the Night of Navy and the berry burst. Got some Designer Series paper back here with a stitched shape framelit and some of the seam binding. This one, large piece of the Designer Series paper. The 3 leaf images stamped, they're like a 2-step stamps. You've got the bold image and the lemon lime twist, then the overlay image and the Tranquil Tide. We've got some Tranquil Tide ribbon here, and then again with that tiny little sequin trim, this one in the silver this time. If you guys are enjoying these cards, give the video a thumbs up. That tells me you like it, and I'll make more of these kind of videos. This next one uses the Lovely Words Thinlits right here on page 214 of the catalog. The friend image was die cut, and then the little friend word was just cropped right out of there. We've got a tiny little bow in the seam binding. We've got that fabulous diamond of our Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. We've got this little kind of plus sign pattern stamped behind that, and then another strip of the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper here, and then the Naturally Eclectic paper there. This one is another cool, and this is one of those fancy folds where you kind of open it up, and it's just really cool. You could stand it up on your table when you receive it as a card from someone. Just super cool. We've got that great geometric pattern there. Got our Hello Friend. We've got the Jar of Love jar here with the flowers coming out of that, and a little bit of linen thread. Really cool card here. We've got the greeting again from the Colorful Seasons stamp set. The Life is a Beautiful Thing down here. A lot of great greetings in this set. We've got some silver glimmer paper and the Soft Sky with our layering circles framelits. We've got a bit of this metallic edged ribbon here. Naturally Eclectic Designer Series paper, and then you open that up. Another greeting from that same Colorful Season stamp set, the flower there, or excuse me, the leaf there, then that little kind of flower pattern. So this is another one of those kind of fun folds. And our last card uses some more of the Designer Series paper. We've got the diamond cut out of gold glimmer paper. And this one, where the little sequin trim, they were actually pulled off of the string and then just added to the pieces here. We've got a little piece embossed with our, and then this uses that heart kind of diamond embossing die here. Some gold glimmer paper. here we've got all the cards I showed you today. I'll take some pictures of some of these and put them on my blog post. You can find my blog at barbstamps.com. If you're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. I take orders at shoppingwithbarb.com, and I send out thank you cards along with gifts with purchase. If you use my host code, you can check that out on my blog also. Subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. That's right down here in the corner. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day.